Okay. I'm just trying to figure out the whole reasoning behind changing the border or the frame. Like, were they thinking to do that just to keep pre-modern separate from the new cards? Because you can't look at the new border and think, "Oh, this looks good," because it looks like garbage.
I'm glad you asked that question. So think about the word color and how it's spelled. So do you know that the word color used to have U in it?
Oh yeah, I know some countries still spell it
And
that
then
way.
they took the U out of the color word because it costs more to print that extra letter. This was
Oh,
something that happened back in the day. You can look this up. So COLOUR used to be how color was spelled. Then they changed it to COLO, whatever. I don't know how to spell now. The point was they took it away. So maybe Alpha Beta was like, all right, it was expensive to put the black ink on.
oh yeah, it was
So then they're
more.
like, all right. And then also Alpha probably had a weird cutter that was like, oh, it's cost too much to cut it that way, even though that's how we designed it. Maybe they wanted to make Alpha unique to like cards and collectible things of that nature, which obviously Magic was the first collectible card game that existed. So maybe they decided, okay, we're going to go with this new form, and they cut it this way. Then they said, shit, look how dark and deep these colors are. Let's go to unlimited. So then they probably went white border to save money on ink, did that little weird double border, and we're like, okay, we're still dying, we haven't caught up on our business plan, which I've saw videos on the Magic business plan and how far ahead they were before you even thought that alliances existed. So then they probably took that away to save money, went to revised, which I personally love the revised ink. I love the look of it, but that's where I started, so maybe it's nostalgic to me.
Oh, I
But it looked
like
more
it too. Yeah,
mystical. Oh, it's gorgeous in my opinion.
it's like more like
That saved
pastel because it's
money,
lighter.
dude. That had to save so much money. So now you went to revised, and then finally, after whatever fourth edition, this and that, they're like, all right, we have our following. Let's bring the black back. And I think that's where the black to white border thing, probably from a financial standpoint and progression thing, maybe that makes sense. I don't know, but it could be why.
Yeah, I know that for a while, if it was a reprint, then it was white border. If it wasn't a reprint, then it was black
Yeah.
border.
Then
Like,
they went all black border, and then they went with like these washed out weird AI things, or and whatever might be. But
yeah, like I know,
the old school.
what was it, sixth edition or wait, what was the first one? Seventh edition, I know, was white border except for the foils. Those were black border because they were first
And then it
they
had
were
like a little
printed with
seven
black.
there.
Yeah, and it was like black border because it was, even though it was a reprint, it was the first time it was printed as a foil, so they made the black border version.
Yeah.
That's the
But if they would have done
closest thing I
foil
know.
off the rip, they would have went out of business quick.
Oh
They
yeah.
they they had it all planned out. You could actually pull up a video of it was Rudy, and he went to this dude's house who had like all these crazy old school cards, and he had the original business plan, whether it was a document or a copy of it from Richard Garfield, where he proposed it to get the money to invest into Magic.
Oh nice.
And not all the cards were like completely established. However, I believe they were up to Homelands, I think it was. But either way, like they had the concepts for all of like the old school. They had Ice Age, like little like playtest cards. So they came into it hot with like knowing they were going to go into like a future of all the sets.
Yeah.
And even to think about like how quickly they went from like alpha beta unlimited, then you went to like the whole four horsemen and how quick that came out, and like pretty much like fallen empires became what in 95 ish.
Yeah, end of '94.
So like it's
Then
a
they printed
huge
through
progression.
'95. Actually, they printed it in '95.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think
So
they
yeah,
actually printed some revised in '95 too.
it's such a
Well, obviously
interesting
the,
idea of how.
yeah, obviously the foreign revised was in '95, but even some of the English ones were printed in '95, even though they say '94 on them,
Yeah.
because they got
Okay.
shorted. You know, they didn't have enough printed for '94.
So let's get back to
I
business.
think
Where are we
it's
at
your
now?
turn
Who's
now.
turn?
I did nothing
Did I
on my
draw?
turn.
I don't know if I drew. I have 4 in hand, so then if that's the case, then I'm drawing.